We have a full crowd. Welcome, everybody. Good evening. The Town of Los Gatos special meeting of the Town Council of December 10th, 2024 is now called to order. May we have a roll call, please?
Councilmember Ista?
Here.
Councilmember Rennie?
Here.
Councilmember Moore?
Here.
Vice Mayor Hudas?
Here.
Mayor Badami?
Here. At this time, I'd also like to recognize several distinguished guests that are in the audience. Former Mayor Sandy Decker. We'll hear from her later on. Former County Supervisor Mike Wasserman. Alex from Josh Becker's office. I'm going to mispronounce your last name, so I hope, Josh, that Alex is okay. Marika Sayak, former mayor. We also have several commissioners in attendance as well. I won't call you by name. You all know who you are. Thank you for your service to the town. And Tina. Tina Walia from Saratoga. Thank you for being here. And Sergio Lopez, the Vice Mayor of Campbell. If I missed anybody, please stand up. The whole room can stand up. You're all distinguished. Okay, thank you for that. And at this time, I'm going to tend to our verbal communications. And as you may have noticed, we have one item, which is the reorganization of the town council. However, there's item A, B, and C. So I'm going to hear all A, B, and C at the same time as item number 1. So with that, I have speaker cards. I'm going to call Carla Albright forward. And keep in mind, each speaker has 3 minutes. So welcome, Carla.
Hi, I'm Carla Albright, and I'm here because I'm so excited about Rob Moore being a vice mayor. So I wanted to say that I've known Rob for several years, and I've been increasingly more impressed with each year. And I note that you seem to care about the greater good, and you also care about people with voices that don't have as strong a voice as you. I recall that when you went to come on the council, you knocked on a bunch of doors, introduced yourself, and listened to people. And that key part was the listening. And I even wrote this before I saw you, Mike, was to say the last time I heard of someone doing that was when Mike did it. So, and since then, I've learned a lot from your newsletter, so I really appreciate the effort you put into that. And I so appreciate that you're a young person, that you bring the young voice to our town, and that you are a model for other young people to get involved. So I appreciate that you care, you're willing to listen, and you're willing to give us your time and energy. And I'm proud as a Los Gatan that we elected you and that you are going to be moving into being a vice mayor. So thank you.
Thank you. All right. Would the Vice Mayor of Monte Sereno come forward? That's another one I forget. That's another distinguished guest. Hello. Thank you for being here. All right. Next speaker card is Nick Struthers. Please come forward, Nick, and welcome.
Thank you, Mary. My name is Nick. I've been a resident in Los Gatos for the last 25 years. And it's good. I really want to having the opportunity to speak to everybody here. First of all, I know you're not mayor yet, Matthew, but I want to congratulate you on your new position. I really couldn't. You would have had my vote anyway. I really couldn't think of a better person for this specific job. And I also want to thank you for your service. I've met you personally. I want to say it's admirable and commendable what you've done for the town and where your passion is. And that goes the same for both Rob, Mary, Rob, and Maria. I've met you all, and I just want to thank you for what you've been doing for this town. You're certainly not in it for the money. I know that. Yeah. But talking about being in it for the money, really, we've got to be honest. I think the next phase of the local government is is really potentially in a development crisis. You know, everybody is aware of SB 330, Builder's Remedy. I don't know what it's called, but there's a loophole that's been created, and some of the proposals that they're going to be building in our town are really scary. Potentially, this can scar the town for not just a few years, but for effectively a few lifetimes, and it can particularly transform what is a really pretty place to live in. I just want to let all the council members know that by far the vast majority of the people in the town are here to support you to keep our town being a great place to live, have affordable housing, and we're in it for the benefit of the town, not the benefit to make money like maybe some developers are planning to do. Again, thank you for this opportunity to speak, and we're here to help you be successful in this critical development time. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, our next speaker is Stephanie Brown. Please come forward. Welcome, Stephanie.
Be here. I'm here to speak in support of Rob Moore as going into vice mayorship. In the United States and the world today, I believe we have a dearth of listeners and a dearth of critical thinkers. In our own Los Gatos, we have our own Rob Moore, who is both an excellent listener and an excellent critical thinker. Rob is not afraid to advocate for our community. Rob does not shrink from using his voice for right. And I want to thank the town council for fostering the opportunities for Rob's leadership to grow here, and ask the community to please support him as he continues to do the right thing for the community and to lead us into light. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next speaker, Alex Kobayashi. I think I said it correctly, so thank you.
Good evening. My name is Alex Kobayashi, and I am here on behalf of the new state senator for Los Gatos, Josh Becker. In agenda item order, I guess I want to congratulate Councilmember Hudis and Ristow on their unelection. I don't know, but congratulations on returning to council. I want to thank Mayor Badame for her year of service. Mayorship can be difficult, and it's a lot of time that you put into it, and we greatly appreciate your work. We look forward to working with all of you in the coming 4 years, and please know that we're here if anything is needed from the state. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Alex. All right, do we have any virtual hands on Zoom?
There are no hands raised on Zoom.
That's my last speaker card. So we'll proceed with the evening unless anybody would like to come forward and fill out a card. Seeing no one come forward, I'm going to close public comment. So now we move to our other business, which is reorganization of the town council. So this is typically the designated time for certifying the election results of the newly elected council members. However, during the designated nomination period, incumbents Maria Risto and Matthew Hudis were the only candidates to file and qualify for the ballot. California Elections Code 10229 states, when the number of candidates does not exceed the number of available positions, the council has the authority to appoint the nominated council or candidates to the office. So as a result, on August 20th of 2024, the town council adopted resolution 2024-045, canceling the November 5th, 2024 general municipal election, which saved the town approximately $95,000 in election costs, and appointed Matthew Hudis and Maria Risto to the office of council member for a full term of 4 years. So at this time, before we clap, I would like to formally acknowledge the commencement of Matthew Hudis and Maria Risto's new term of office. The appointed council members will be administered a ceremonial oath of office with the newly appointed mayor and vice mayor. I think we could do a round of applause now. Okay, at this time, I understand there might be a movie to watch.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Serving as a council member is a very challenging job with both the public-facing and the internal-facing activities that you perform. The amount of reading that you do, the phone calls, the meetings with residents and whatnot is incredible. But also serving as mayor takes that up quite a notch in terms of the events and the activities that the mayor has to perform, and the more frequent meetings with staff and the town manager. It's challenging, it's tough, and in this regulatory environment and what the state is passing down, even harder. But I've seen you do the right thing. I've seen you do the right thing for years, and we have to acknowledge, as both town staff and the community, what a wonderful job you do to try to keep this community the high quality that it is. So as is tradition, we've put together a video, and I'd like to thank our staff, Holly Young, who's also here, for the work she did to put this together, to show and highlight the last year, and thank you for the service that you have done. So with that, we'll turn it over to the video.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. That was definitely the fun part of being a mayor. So, to two of you tonight, look forward to that because it's so much joy and happiness. And it's kind of a testament to the community and how we are thriving. And it's just all love. So, with that, what's our next item? Is that something?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. You have led this council for the last year with thoughtfulness and a very big heart. But at times you've had to use that gavel in front of you, so I know it's been a little dinged here and there. So to commemorate the last year and appreciate your leadership, we will provide you another one on this commemorable plaque. One that you don't have to gavel, but one that you can look at and have thoughtfulness and an appreciation from the town staff to you of the year of service.
Okay, now it's time for me to make some comments. So, as you know, I'm truly humbled for the recognition and the support I've received throughout the year. I can't help but acknowledge that it's been quite a year for all of us in so many different ways. The town faced daunting challenges this year, but we met them by working together and resulting in several key accomplishments. The town is well poised with current and new leadership and strong for tomorrow. I did my best to put the town in a better place moving forward. The housing element is certified. The senior roadmap is speeding along. The Finance Commission, voted by town residents in 2020, is full steam ahead in protecting the future fiscal stability of Los Gatos, thanks to exceptional leadership from our commissioners. And thanks to all our commissioners in attendance, because you all have done a great job for all of Los Gatos. The appointment of our new town manager, highly qualified and well vetted, was a huge win for our town and will lead us forward with great skill and management. However, tonight is more about you and us, including everyone in this room, residents of our town, fellow council members, and the engine that keeps the town running. I'm a better person for knowing and learning from each and every one of you. Town staff, you are the engine that keeps the town running. The role of mayor did not come with a playbook, nor did it come easy. You elevated me at times when all due credit belonged to you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. To everyone, it's been a privilege, an absolute privilege to serve as your mayor. Thank you for the honor. I can't cry tonight. I'll ruin my makeup. All right, so we have our next item, and I'm sorry. Yeah, you can make some comments. They better be good. Okay, I'm going to start with Councilmember Rennie, followed by the Vice Mayor.
Okay, I'd like to congratulate Mayor Badami on a job well done. She did an excellent job of stepping into the role without having previous experience as a mayor. I think her success was due to her passion and dedication for Los Gatos and her deep roots in the community. In her role as mayor, she did a great job as the team leader and team facilitator for the council. Our meetings were well run in a way that all council members felt included, had a chance to speak as much as they needed, and got the information they required. Her facilitations included a great job including the public and making sure they felt heard also. Part of Mary's success was her leveraging a strong working relationship with the town manager. I commend her on her use of all her resources to help solve the town's problems and get us through difficulties and controversies. The public is often not aware that there's more than just fun ribbon cuttings, that there's a lot of behind-the-scenes work, interfacing and working with other organizations, which include regular meetings with school districts, Los Gatos Rec, NUMU, West Valley mayors, other electeds, and much more. The mayor also gets and receives many requests to meet or speak at groups, service clubs, or even write articles for magazines and papers. This is in addition to the many requests from individuals to help solve their problems in the town. Actually, the mayor receives a lot of requests to solve problems. As mayor, it seems all the problems in the town become yours to do something about. The mayor gets many problem requests, but not many compliments and thank yous. So I would like to add my thanks to Mary for the work and dedication she put in this past year.
Thank you. Thank you. So sweet. Thank you. Vice Mayor.
I want to thank Mayor Badami for everything that she has done to serve Los Gatos, not only this year, but I think for 15, 20 years, various capacities. Mary has always kept the heritage and the course of the town in mind as she steered through some challenging times. I recognize her efforts to move the housing element along to certification. Even though I did not support the final form of it, it wasn't her fault. Mary played the main role in facilitating the council's important obligation of hiring a new town manager. It's rare to work with someone who is so disciplined and focused, and also someone who can say that they grew up in our town. Although Mary has another 2 years of her current term, I want to acknowledge her contribution now and to recognize it might be a while before we have a council member who can say they were raised here and be so committed to the quality of the town. So thank you, Mary Badami.
Thank you. Councilmember Moore.
Thank you. I also want to share some words of praise for our outgoing mayor, Mary Badami. During her tenure serving as the mayor of Los Gatos, Mayor Badami led with a very steady hand. She has handled all the many difficult problems thrown her way and run these meetings incredibly well. Sitting up here, I can tell you firsthand how difficult of a task it is to be both engaged in the decision-making process and also be facilitating the meetings, and I thought you did that with ease. You balanced your duties and kept the business of the town running smoothly. I want to especially commend Mayor Badami for how actively she worked to support the Los Gatos business community. You jumped right in, collaborating with a new Chamber of Commerce CEO, Jennifer Lynn, to do everything that you could to support local businesses in our town. I often saw you multiple days in 1 week at ribbon cuttings, where you encouraged residents and visitors alike to shop small and support our local community. I think your work as a local business owner brought a very unique and much needed perspective to our council, and I am very grateful for your attention to our business community. Finally, I want to compliment Mayor Badami for leading Los Gatos through a once-in-a-decade change in leadership and the search for our new town manager. Many town staff, community members, and even council members only ever knew one town manager in Laurel Privetti, and Mayor Badami thoughtfully led the process that eventually led us to the selection of our new town manager, Chris Constantine, who has already been an excellent leader for the Los Gatos community. Congratulations on a very successful year as mayor, and while we might not agree on every issue, I sincerely value your service and care for our community. I look forward to continuing to work with you in the years to come. Thank you, Mayor Badami.
Thank you. Councilmember Risto.
Thank you. First of all, I'm not going to try to enumerate everything my fellow council members stated. I think we all know what an amazing job Mayor Badami did this year, and it was great to work together when you were my vice mayor, and in the final months as you were approaching being mayor. I think you were looking at it thinking, how is this going to work out? But you plunged right in. There is no manual for this. But she plunged in, she was at the ribbon cuttings, she was running the meetings, bringing all of the other council members into it. And, you know, until you've been mayor, you don't realize that while you're trying to simultaneously take in information, formulate your next thought, use that information, make a decision, and make sure that you're running the meeting, paying attention to the residents, paying attention to your fellow council members, it can be a real challenge, and you nailed it. I appreciate the effort you gave. Not everyone on the council has a full-time job, but Mary does, and she still made time for the ribbon cuttings, for Girl Scout events, for being present in the community in a way that I know matters to our residents. They like to see council members present. They like to know their mayor, and you're very approachable, you're very kind, and I just appreciate the leadership you showed this year. The two big things we did were getting the housing element over the finish line and hiring a new town manager. You know, you start the year, you don't know what's ahead of you, you have plans for what you think you'll accomplish, and then things happen. And I think that kind of agility is what we all need to work with. And it's great to be part of this council and when the leader acknowledges the work that everyone else does. But I appreciate your leadership this year, and it was great to see you have fun while you did all the hard work.
I did. My fellow council members, thank you for your kind words. It's been an honor to serve with you all. Thank you so much. Okay, now's the time that I'm going to make a nomination, but I'm going to talk first. So our vice mayor has been a champion for our town. He served in several capacities, always demonstrating his love and commitment for our town. Matthew's decisions, as you know, they're never made lightly. They're made with a deep dive and thorough analysis. His dedication in maintaining the unique character and spirit of our town is unparalleled. His integrity is above reproach, and I worked with him in other ways. Planning Commission, we served together, but I first recognized him when he served on the North 40 Advisory Committee. I had never met him before, but I was so impressed with his input way back then, and I was thrilled to serve with him on the Planning Commission. And I knew he was a leader back then and was destined to become on council and someday be our mayor. So with great admiration, I nominate Vice Mayor Hudes as our next town mayor. Councilmember Rennie.
I second the motion and second your words.
Okay, with that, I will call the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Passes unanimously. All right. Would our mayor-elect Hudes wish to provide comments?
Not surprising, but I have a few comments. I'm more than honored to be selected to be mayor and to have the opportunity to follow in the footsteps of many former mayors who've encouraged me and have done so much for Los Gatos, including Sandy Decker, Barbara Spector, Mariko Sayak, Mike Wasserman, Tom Ferrito, Brent Ventura, Joanne Benjamin, and others, as well as current council member mayors, Rob Rennie, Mary Badami, and Maria Risto. First, I'd like to say that this town is so incredibly special to me. When I moved here with my wife, Qui, and our daughter, Colette, in 1987, we fell in love with the beautiful hillsides, the bustling small business downtown, the incredible weather, and our warm and generous neighbors. Immediately, we knew that this was home. Off the heels of a hotly contested national election, I don't have to tell you that we already know and feel we live in a nation with a great deal of division. As I've had the opportunity to serve on the council, I've seen firsthand how passionate each one of us council members are in implementing our own unique visions about what we feel is best for the town. And that means, of course, that we have, on occasion, had fierce and spirited debates about the policies and projects that shape our town's future. But I'm proud to say that despite those disagreements, we have not succumbed to the forces of hyper-partisanship that rack our nation. We've always been civil to each other, and I hope to our staff, and we will continue to do so. I welcome all ideas and a spirit of collaboration as the council works going forward. I also see signs of our coming together as we face a tidal wave of development applications that could transform the character of our town. A top priority for me will be managing development in a reasonable way that both provides housing opportunities, but also remains in line with the special character and unique charm of our town. I want to make sure that there are opportunities for police, teachers, etc., to live here by creating attainable housing, not just dense, high-priced housing that satisfies only the developers. So I'd like to say that above all, we will seek to be the best, most welcoming, and neighborly small town. I will focus on local issues and opportunities, and I will do everything that I can to help achieve a sense of community during my year as mayor and the rest of my term as council member. Here are 3 things that I will focus on. Number 1, older adult services and a new community center. Every town needs places for people away from phones and social media to meet face-to-face, to talk to each other, or just have fun together. In other words, an inviting space for a variety of activities for all ages, which includes dedicated spaces for older adults and for teens. I will work collaboratively with the Los Gatos Thrives Foundation that unleashes the talents and energy of Los Gatos to raise funds and collaborate with the town to identify the best location. With a focus on a new community center, we can restore, sustain, as well as bring new services for older adults and everyone in town. The second focus is on safety, wildfire and traffic related to disaster response. One step in that direction is to aggressively manage vegetation and fuel sources and provide an early warning system. Another step is to focus on the coordination of public safety and neighborhood preparations and to enhance our Community Emergency Response Team, CERT, and our emergency communications. Finally, the town can work with the Valley Transit Authority to explore new options and to measure real-time traffic effects and work toward new solutions to beach cut-through traffic, including dynamic flow control. My third focus is on historic preservation. The town has retained much of its historic structures and neighborhoods, but there are new opportunities to preserve what is remaining, and we can address those. In order to achieve any of these wonderful goals, the town has to have a solid foundation, and I will continue to position the town for the future by working toward financial stability and transparency, focusing on having a predictable way of funding our unfunded pension liabilities, our capital needs, and dealing with the unpredictable state and county funding sources which cause concern. Number 2, I'll also focus my efforts on increasing economic opportunities for our town's residents, creating opportunities for retail and residents and for innovative companies to start up and grow right here in Los Gatos. There could be more high-paying jobs in town while reducing traffic and furthering educational opportunities. Third, I pledge to focus on security and peace of mind for our residents. Los Gatos is a very safe place to live, but the town has experienced an uptick in retail and residential theft. We will continue to innovate our ways of providing public safety and security and enhance public safety while protecting privacy. Let me end with a note about the character of our town and a story about how it's so important to me and to so many of you. During our first study session on housing in 2021, there were many alarmed residents as they realized the impact of what the state was imposing on the town. But what struck me most were the voices of a dozen or so recent immigrants, residents, whose English wasn't perfect, who chose to live and raise their families in Los Gatos after participating in the success of Silicon Valley. One woman said that they could have decided to live in other towns with good neighborhoods and great schools, but specifically chose Los Gatos because of the character of our town. This was not only a statement about how the architecture and hillsides are wonderful, but was really about how town character can be so important to so many of diverse backgrounds. Our town is a treasure. It's not just the historic neighborhoods and exciting downtown, but most importantly, a welcoming community of engaged residents. And our excellent schools, all nestled in beautiful hillsides and surrounded by open spaces. The character of our town unifies us and focuses us on those local actions that we can take. So to close, I will focus our efforts in town on civility and seeking to be the best, most welcoming, and neighborly small town. Finally, I want to thank town staff who are professional and go beyond the call of duty to serve our town. And this year, I'm joined by Chris Constantine, our new town manager, as we both enter a new phase of leadership. Then I want to thank my family, my wife, Qui, who puts up with me jumping up from skipping dinner and going to town meetings, and who's a sounding board for my ideas and my frustrations. And thank you to Colette and Simon, who mean so much to me. And finally, thank you to the community for the opportunity to serve you.
So I just want to make a quick comment before I have you speak up again. When I was thanking town staff, I was looking this way, but we need to look this way too, because
Yes,
these ladies do a lot for us as well. So I'm going to go back to the mayor-elect and see if he'd like to make a motion for a new vice mayor.
Yes, I'd like to take a little more of your time to do one more thing, and that is to nominate Rob Moore as vice mayor.
Okay.
I've gotten to know Rob on the council and in the Santa Clara Cities Association, which is basically the leaders of all of the Santa Clara County cities, where he's well-known and well-respected. He's contributed to the Regional Legislative Action Committee by researching and advocating for new laws that benefit the residents of Los Gatos. And on the council, he's always represented his position with passion and reasoning that exposes hard work and preparation that he's done. Plus, he inspires me to remember my ideals and beliefs and to consider sides of issues that I hadn't thought about or hadn't thought about for a long time. So I think Rob will do an excellent job, and I support his next step in leadership as vice mayor of Los Gatos. Do I have a second?
Councilmember Isto.
I'll second.
All right, I'm going to make a comment. As you may have noticed, Councilmember Moore has been seated next to me where a vice mayor would typically sit all year long. So I would say he's geared up for the role with ambition and energy abound. So I will be supporting the motion, and unless I see any further comments, I'm going to call the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Passes unanimously. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, with that, would you like to provide comments?
I did not prepare any comments, but I just want to echo a lot of what you all have said this evening. I think that this next step for the town of Los Gatos, I think that serving with our new mayor, I think we will provide the same love for Los Gatos, the many ambitious goals for the community, and I hope provide a genuine balance, because I think we both care a lot. So thank you all.
Thank you. All right, at this time, would our mayor-elect, vice mayor-elect, and appointed council members please move to the floor in front of the table? Vice Mayor-elect Hudis.
If I could just say one thing, the person who administers the oath of office is a very special person to those who take the oath. And during the height of COVID, I was sworn in by my wife in a very touching and meaningful moment. Tonight, I'd like to ask someone who's given so much to the town, serving on boards and commissions, serving as a council member and mayor, and being a driving force in town for historic preservation and hillside preservation, the creation of a new library, and now driving for older adult services and a new community center. That is former Mayor Sandy Decker.
Congratulations, everyone. And thank you, Sandy Decker, for administering the oath. Okay, I think at this time it's only appropriate that Mayor Hudis comes over here and takes over the throne and the gavel. So it's all yours.
There have been a lot of grateful and inspiring words tonight, so I will close very briefly with the hope that we can come together seeking to be the best, most welcoming, and neighborly small town. Thanks for joining us, and happy holidays. This meeting is adjourned.